Hey guys, this is Vishal from EQUITY.GURU, and we got to talk about one of the hottest stocks this week, and that is West High Yield Resources. And this is a company with a magnesium asset, and they're looking to bring this magnesium asset online. They are dealing with one of the greenest deposits of high-grade magnesium, which is the Record Ridge Magnesium deposit located 10 kilometers southwest of Rosslyn, BC, which has approximately 10.6 million tons of contained magnesium based on an independently produced PEA technical report. So here is an image of where the asset is and also the project updated resource estimate here. What I want to highlight is what's happened here on the charts. Since my article came out and since EQUITY.GURU actually covered West High Yield Resources back on November 21st, I talked about this range pattern here that was setting up at about 23 cents. You know, that was your top portion of the resistance. And I talked about ranges are part of a market structure where after a downtrend, prices tend to range, which basically indicates selling pressure is exhausting. But the key is you want that breakout above the range to actually trigger a new uptrend. And take a look at the before and after picture. We definitely got a major breakout. What was that? A 30% day, basically a day after the article came out, which took us above the range, gave us the breakout trigger. And not only that, we actually took out the 30 cents resistance zone, which I also highlighted in the article, being this major resistance technical zone. We had a bit of a pullback, which tends to happen because when you break out of major resistance or support zones, prices tend to pull back to retest, which gives another opportunity for the buyers or traders, if it's it could technically be a short sell, or traders to jump back in to ride the second wave momentum higher. That is exactly what has happened here on West High Yield Resources. So let's bring out my handy dandy ruler tool here. If we measure from the breakout up to the recent highs of this week at 55 cents, you got 133% mover in this stock in less than 2 weeks. And not only that, we've taken out major technical levels. And a lot of people are wondering, why this breakout has occurred. There was news which came out, so I think this move was jumping or popping in anticipation of this news, which was the completion of a positive pre-feasibility study for magnesium oxide production. And if I just go to, well, actually I don't have the article out there, but I can bring up the charts here. Actually, they gave the economics of the project, net present value of 872 million, IRR of 72%, and this is a payback period of 3.5 years. And this is actually a significant improvement of the 2013 economics or the net present value. So market clearly likes it, right? That's why it's popping. And I think the magnesium market is just a market that's, I'll admit it, when I heard about magnesium first, I wasn't too familiar with the applications for it. The most I know was, taking magnesium supplements for, the body, because I know it's one of the top deficiencies in the world, especially in the Western Hemisphere. But there's a big demand or big use for magnesium in energy storage, in pharmaceuticals, which we just talked about, automotive, wall boards, cement, aerospace, agriculture as well, which is very important because magnesium is part of soil and vital to growth. But you talk about certain things, right? Like, for example, the cement, it uses less fossil fuels and absorbs and locks in carbon dioxide emissions as it sets, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. And knowing about the world that we live in today and how important CO2 emissions are. And yeah, all these other things which I mentioned, vehicle manufacturers are making lighter cars for more fuel efficiency using magnesium. And magnesium is also like a strategic critical mineral as well, that's been designated. Here we go. Yep, magnesium is considered as one of the 35 strategic critical minerals for the U.S. economic and national security with an executive order to stockpile. So I think the magnesium market is an interesting one, something to keep a watch on. And the chart that I use here is the on trading economics, magnesium. And you can see magnesium has just been ranging since basically July of this year, magnesium prices. And we're just at the support level of magnesium on the spot price here. So I think you could maybe potentially see a double bottom here going forward, which, we want to see, especially if you're a bull. You don't really want to see magnesium prices break below this support line here. However, when we're talking about West high yield resources, sure, the price can be leveraged to the price of magnesium. And I did detail in my article how similar, the setup of West high yield and magnesium are or were, I guess. But of course, the stock has its own fundamental news driving it forward with the report which just came out here. So take a look at the economics and also the other articles and videos actually from Chris Perry on Equity Guru on why this is worth a look at and why West high yield is a great investment opportunity going forward. And he details a lot about magnesium. My job is, looking at the charts here. I'm a tech guy. And all I can say here is essentially that we are at a major resistance zone now, at this sort of 56, 55 cents and a half zone. We saw a sell-off here back in August of 2022 after a major pop. So expect to see maybe some profit taking, right? Especially when you move 133%, I think I said, in less than 2 weeks. There will be people taking some profits. But what I would be watching for is if you get a close above 56.5 cents here, right? That would mean that the momentum is continuing to carry forward, which is just super bullish for the stock. And then I would look at maybe a resistance zone here around the 70 zone, and then a major resistance zone here just under the $1 zone or the 94 cent zone, which we have highlighted actually on my article because it's a major monthly resistance zone. And actually in an investor roundtable, which is also on YouTube on this channel, which you can watch, Chris Perry and I and Galen, we talked about this this chart and how it's always been basically respecting these levels here. So, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. That 94, 95 cent level is a very, very major resistance zone. But if you can confirm a close here above 56.5 cents, the stock can have much more momentum to rally forward. I think in the short term or medium term, if there is a pullback, right, if people are taking profits, I would be watching maybe the 45 cent zone here because there used to be resistance here as well, and we just clearly broke above it. But technically, as long, and I'm not saying the price is going to fall down to this level, but technically, as long as we are above 30 cents, the uptrend or the new uptrend is in play and is intact. And essentially now you just wait for higher lows and higher highs, and you just ride that going forward until we knock on that major resistance zone. So we are in a new uptrend. I really like what I see here on the technical. Just be wary that there could be some sort of profit taking, which is normal, right? It's very normal. But I think the stock can carry that momentum forward based on the fundamental news which has come out. That's it for me, folks. Give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. And if you are a fan of West High Yield Resources and magnesium, let us know in the comments below. And I will catch you guys in the next video.